The morning sun spilled over the red earth of Umu's village, casting golden light on the thatched rooftops and the gently swaying palm fronds. Birds chirped high in the UDARA trees, and the faint crowing of roosters echoed through the dusty paths. It was the kind of morning Nene had longed for while living in Lagos, amidst the chaos of traffic and noise. Now, back in her ancestral village after 7 long years, the scent of the land, of earth, firewood smoke, and ripening cassava filled her lungs and stirred old memories. Nene stepped out from her late father's bungalow, adjusting her scarf as she looked over the farm her family once tended with pride. It had lain mostly fallow in recent years, overgrown with weeds, its rich soil forgotten. She clenched her fist with resolve. She would not let her family legacy fade away. City life had given her degrees, confidence, and scars. But village life had given her roots. And roots, she realized, were stronger than wings. Her mother, Mama Yugo, called from inside. Nene, should I warm the off aku for you? No, Mama. I want to walk to the stream first. It's been too long. She carried a small calabash and walked barefoot down the narrow path through the bush. Everything looked the same, yet everything felt different. Children's laughter floated from distant compounds. An old woman pounded yam in her open kitchen. Young girls with braided hair balanced buckets on their heads. As she neared the stream, she heard a familiar voice behind her. Nena. She turned slowly. Obina. He looked the same, and yet more. Taller, broader. His eyes held the same glint of laughter, the same mischievous light, but now tempered with maturity. A well-trimmed beard framed his jaw, and he wore a simple wrapper with his hoe slung over his shoulder. The moment their eyes met, the years between them crumbled like dried palm fronds. Obina, she said, her voice a whisper. He walked toward her. So the prodigal daughter returns, he teased gently, and the village chickens are all talking. She laughed despite herself. I see your tongue hasn't lost its sharpness. And your smile still lights fires, he said, looking at her with open warmth. She lowered her gaze. It's good to see you, Obina. And you, Nena. They stood in silence, the soft gurgling of the stream behind them. Finally, he spoke. I heard about your father. I'm sorry. She nodded. Thank you. I wish I'd come back sooner. He studied her for a moment, then said, Come. Let me show you what you've been missing. Obina led her through the village paths, past the community bounds and the new women's cooperative she hadn't heard about. He was deeply woven into village life, no longer the carefree boy she'd known, but a man rooted in the land. I thought you'd have left, she said as they walked. You always dreamed of Enugu or even Abuja. He shrugged. I did. For a while. But I came back. My father became ill. The farm needed me. And honestly, this land called me back. They stopped at his compound, where an elderly woman sat under an ube tree peeling okra. Mama, he said, see who came back. The woman looked up, squinting, then broke into a wide smile. Nena. Chinik. You have grown into a real Eda. Nena smiled and knelt to greet her. Good afternoon, Mama Ejima. Obina's mother touched her shoulder. You were always a bright child. Your father would be proud. Obina offered her palm wine in a calabash. As she sipped, Nena's mind wandered. Could she stay here? Modernize the farm. Start a women's group like the one she saw. There was so much to do. So much possible. But the city always beckoned, with its noise, its promises, its escape. That night, under the star-drenched sky, Nena sat outside her father's compound, listening to the crickets. A knock sounded at the gate. It was Obina again. I brought you something, he said, holding a small carved figurine of a woman holding a hoe. I found it in my father's things, he said. He said it belonged to your grandfather. Thought you might want it back. She held the figurine gently, her throat tight. I do, she said softly. Thank you. In the weeks that followed, Nena threw herself into the farm's revival. She studied the land, cleared the weeds, planted improved cassava stems, and introduced drip irrigation techniques she'd learned in Lagos. At first, the villagers watched with suspicion. A city girl doing village man's work. But Obinna helped. Quietly, steadily. He offered guidance where needed, always respectful, never overbearing. One afternoon, after a long day of planting, she sat under a mango tree, exhausted. Obinna joined her, his shirt stained with soil and sweat. You work like a man, he joked. She rolled her eyes. Or maybe men just work like women. He laughed. Touché. Then, more seriously, why did you really come back? She hesitated. I think I was tired of pretending. In the city, I had success, but no peace. Here, there's space to breathe. To belong. He nodded. And maybe, someone to belong with. Their eyes locked. The wind rustled the mango leaves above. I don't know what the future holds, she whispered. I do, he said. I see it. You and me, side by side. This land, this life. Together. The village buzzed with gossip. People watched them at the market, whispered during village meetings. Some elders muttered about a woman being too forward. Some said Obinna deserved a more traditional wife. But others, like Mama Ejima and Mama Yugo, saw what bloomed between them. A love both tender and strong. A partnership built on respect. One evening, under the full moon, Obinna stood before the village elders at the Obi. He spoke clearly. I, Obinna Anezi, seek the hand of Nene Uma in marriage. I have seen her heart, and I want to share my life with her. The elders conferred. One of them, old Chief Madu, nodded slowly. She is her father's daughter, strong, wise. If she accepts you, then we bless it. The traditional wedding, Egbanku, was held at the Uma compound. Drums beat joyfully. Women danced in colorful George wrappers, their heads adorned with coral beads. Nene stepped out in royal blue lace, her skin glowing, her eyes bright. Obinna watched her as if she were a dream. During the rites, she knelt and presented him palm wine. He drank, then raised her gently, to thunderous applause. Later, as night fell and the festivities waned, they sat together, hand in hand. You chose me, he said, voice low. No, she replied, smiling. I chose us. Months passed, and the farm flourished. Other young women in the village began asking questions: how to grow better crops, how to sell at better prices. Nene started holding weekly women's meetings, blending tradition with new techniques. Obinna remained her steadfast partner. Sometimes teasing, sometimes silent, but always present. One night, under the stars, he placed his hand on her belly and whispered, "Do you think it's a girl?" She laughed. "Or twins, like your mother." He smiled. "Then we must start building the second hut." Years later, under the same mango tree where they first shared their dreams, Nene watched their children chase chickens and laughter through the dust. The farm was now a cooperative. Their love had become the heart of the village, a union of tradition and progress. And in the center of it all was Nene's heart. Not just hers in body, but her vision, her passion, her love. Obinna placed a gentle kiss on her cheek and said, "You were never just the prodigal daughter. You were always the heart of your muse." And she, with tears in her eyes, replied, "And you, Obinna, are the rhythm that keeps it beating."